Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Santiago Carrata, City of Tampa Administrator, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to this very special occasion where we are honoring and recognizing Miss Ellie Montague. Thank you. Thank you very much. Before we move on with the program, we'd like to recognize Mr. Rick Garrity with Hillsborough County EPA. Thank you, Rick. Thank you for joining us today. And former Commissioner and Councilwoman Rose Ferlita. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, Ferlita. Please join me in welcoming to the podium our first speaker, Councilwoman Ellie Kipling.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ellie Kipling. I was appointed to City Council back in July, and this is my district and my home. And when I was asked to come down here, I wrote down a few thoughts, so I will share them with you this afternoon. Ellie Montague is the one who tossed the proverbial stone in Lake Kipling, and the ripples from that stone have had a positive effect throughout our Tampa community. What a pleasure it is to be here in this great natural setting, in a small reminder of what Florida looked like in the middle of an urban neighborhood, a place where we can stroll or simply drive by and enjoy. We're indeed fortunate to have a small piece of this natural paradise. I drive by this lake almost daily, and every time I pass by, I'm reminded of how fortunate we are for having men and women in this community like Ellie Montague, who dedicated herself to making life a little more pleasurable and a little more satisfying for the rest of us. We thank you, Ellie Montague, for giving us back this wonderful and healthy Lake Kipling. I've read many words that describe Ellie Montague: persistent, strong, convincing, committed, and tireless, just to name a few adjectives. I'd like to add a couple more: visionary and a leader of her community. Ellie Montague knew this lake when the waters were clear and people fished off its shore, and she wanted to preserve it for her community, for posterity. This lake will be alive and vibrant long after these words phase in the cool breeze that we bask in today because of Ellie. Ellie Montague is the one who tossed the proverbial stone into Lake Kipling, and its ripples traveled well beyond its shore. And proof of that is when Ellie went to Tallahassee and testified before a committee on mangrove trimming, and her work with Urban Lakes Rescue Project. She worked tirelessly to obtain funds. She partnered with environmental staff that filed for funding to help the City of Tampa pay for the cost of dredging Lake Kipling. And because of those efforts, we received additional funding to clean other lakes in Tampa. And that's not all. She made sure that the water sources flowing into Lake Kipling are clean and sediment removed. And her work was invaluable in restoring the natural flushing system that improves the lake's water quality. Ellie also has an eye for small details, like making sure builders place booms in front of storm drains to keep construction sediment and draining from the bay to the bay. Getting signs installed at storm drains to notify the public that dumping leaves and debris into storm drains increases the pollution in Tampa Bay. And like Ellie says, you dump it, you pump it. Let's not forget Ellie's husband, Jack, and those that live near her. Ellie and Jack and her neighbors were often spotted hand trimming the mangroves at Lake Kipling, so the public would not be deprived of the view of the lake she so loved. Ellie Montague is one of our unsung heroes. She goes about her work not for recognition, but because it's the right thing to do. Because she loves Tampa, she loves her bay, and she loves her lake. For 30 years, Ellie has worked to improve the quality of life for us all and asks nothing in return. We, the community, benefit from her work, her dedication, and for all she has done. And it is long due that we recognize Ellie Montague's efforts by dedicating this day to her by way of this ceremony. It is a small token by all of us who are indebted to Ellie Montague. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Councilwoman Kipling. And now our next speaker is the President of Sunset Park, Mr. Marlon Anderson.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for coming out for this historic event for Sunset Park. I've known Ellie now for about 12 years. When she came by my house one night about a petition or something like that, she's always going around doing stuff, you know, get in the middle of something. And she's, Sunset Park has been no stranger to battles and controversy over the many years, and Ellie's been in just about all of them, and I had the honor to have participated with Ellie on some of the battles regarding stormwater and Lake Kipling and this, that, and the other. And I can tell you, I've never dealt with such a tenacious, dedicated individual trying to protect the environment, trying to protect her neighborhood, make it a better place for everybody. And this particular project here, to acknowledge her, this is a joint project between the Sunset Park Area Homeowners Association and the City of Tampa. And the mayor is so gracious to come out here and with the dedication of this plaque, and I'm so happy about that. And I would like to just finally say that this lake that you see here behind us, if it wasn't for Ellie, there would be a wall of mangroves around it, like you have over in Dundee. Can't see it. And this lake is the only lake in all of South Tampa that is visible from a major thoroughfare such as West Shore Boulevard. So not only do all of the residents of Sunset Park benefit from all of Ellie's hard work, but all of the people from South Tampa or other parts of the city that drive up and down West Shore every day, thousands and thousands of motorists, benefit from her hard work. And furthermore, as the Councilwoman Kipling pointed out, she's done a lot of things with cleaning up the stormwater, the lake, making it clean. We had the Urban Lake Rescue Project, and I just can't say enough for what Ellie has done. And Ellie, I salute you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson, and of course, thank you to Sunset Park. Our next speaker is the immediate past president of Sunset Park Garden Club, and that is Miss Jane Smith.
It is indeed a pleasure to be here and to see one of our members honored in such a way that she deserves. All through the years she has been working, and Ellie, we just want you to know that the club loves you and is very happy for you to be honored this way.
It's now my pleasure and honor to introduce our mayor, the Honorable Pam Iorio.
Thank you, Santiago. Hello, everyone. Beautiful afternoon. Ellie has kept me on my toes. For 8 years. And when I first got elected, she came knocking. She had been personally cutting the mangroves. And I guess she wasn't supposed to or something. But she just said, why can't the city just cut them? Well, you know, everything's complicated. But finally, we just got around to saying yes. Because here's the deal. Ellie wears you down. So then I thought, well, good. She's going to be happy that we're trimming the mangroves. Oh, no, that just primed the pump. Then she just got started. She was on a roll. Then we made the mistake of getting $1.3 million from the feds. We thought it was a good thing. But Ellie wanted to spend it herself. She's great. You know, to me, she kind of typifies what makes working in the city of Tampa so wonderful and the relationship we have with the neighborhoods. It's very personal. You know, we're the 54th largest city in the United States, so you would think that you would really never be able to contact City Hall or you'd never be able to get anything done. She's an example of what Tampa's really like, where one person who's very persistent, really believes in what she's doing, just goes down to City Hall, talks to the mayor, and gets it done. And you know, you just have to love her. I just love her personality. I love the fact that she's a fighter. I love the fact that she so ardently believes in what she thinks is the right thing with regards to stormwater. She is the queen of stormwater runoff. Isn't that a nice thing to be a queen of? We have a lot to thank Ellie for, and we want to make sure that she is always remembered, which is why a very special plaque is inscribed on this rock. Is it inscribed under that? Okay, I thought so. It was either a rock or a bush that we didn't want to freeze overnight. I couldn't tell which one it was, but it's a rock. It's appropriate that words for Ellie are inscribed on a rock because she's a rock. Ellie, let me read this and then you can come up and make remarks, although you are limited to a half hour. Ellie's Lake Kipling, in honor of Ellie Montague for 4 decades of tireless dedication to beautiful Lake Kipling. Here's a poem. Who wrote this poem?
My daughter did.
Your daughter did?
Yeah.
That is really special. How old is she?
31.
Oh, 31. Okay. She's not cute anymore. Okay. I thought if she was 10 or 12, you know, she could come up. 31 doesn't cut it. We have Ellie to thank for Lake Kipling's beauty, preserved and protected for all to see. And as we watch the fish jump in our waters, we know that this joy is due to her and her tireless devotion to the cause, that we have a view of nature that gives us pause. Dedicated this 8th day of December, 2010, to Ellie Montague. All right, Ellie. You won't fall down. We'll hang out with you. How about that? Now be careful over this step. Yeah.
I'm so honored for all of you to be here for me today. I want to thank Pam especially. I got out and waved those banners for her when she was running for mayor for good.
Yeah, I remember. I still have them.
I said, Pam Iorio, mayor. Oh, yes. And it's been a wonderful time. I hate to see you go. I want to thank everyone for being here, and especially Dr. Garrity. And I want to thank my one person or 2 people who gave me the strength to carry and the honor to speak up whenever I felt I needed to, and that's Robin Lewis. Where's Robin? Hold your hand up. Robin Lewis, the nationally known environmental scientist, gave me a lot of guts to stand up for what I believed in. And John Thomas, an attorney. John, wave. I couldn't have done without you keeping me straight. And Marlon Anderson, thank you so much. He's the only one who really has stepped in and helped me with what I believed in, and I really appreciate that. And I don't want to forget James Smith, our president of our garden club. I see Walford Johnson and Ann, who inspired me so much too, walking the streets for the trees. And I appreciate everyone coming today. Thank you so much. I didn't expect this.